My name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a happy video because it's about the books that I want to read this fall that I currently have on my shelf. So I'm going to try and make like September, October the time of year when I kind of catch up on the books that I really want to read and like keep going with, because in July and August it was a lot of TBR, very structured months for me, and though those are great and it made me read a lot of books, I have a lot of books on my shelves that I got during those months that I didn't end up reading because they didn't fit into my TBRs, and I'm looking really forward to having just a month of doing what I want. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to keep it quick because there's a few of them, so let's get into it. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This book I have seen around the Bookstagram internet and the YouTubes and all the things, and I'm so intrigued by it. I've heard incredible things, and people who love this series absolutely love it. I know nothing about it other than the fact there are like different casts in this world, and they're like dubbed by the different kind of blood they have? I'm not sure. It's like they're cast in like red and then like gold and then that kind of stuff. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I like going into series without really knowing a lot about them, so I'm so excited about this. I've heard, as I keep saying, wonderful things about it. So this is number one. Number two on this lovely list of books that I want to read is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is another book that I have been really wanting to get to, and it kind of blew up a little bit on BookTube and the Bookstagram and the book internet sphere, so I am very excited about this book because I've heard incredible things. And a lot of the authors that I follow on Bookstagram have like read this before it came out as ARCs and raved about it, and then I know like V.E. Schwab is currently reading it, or was currently reading it like last week, and she was adoring it. I've heard it deals with really like dark things, and I've also heard somebody say it's like a villain origin story, so like all those things I am so into. So I'm just gonna read you the little tiny blurb on the back. Like, it's a big blurb, but I'm just gonna read you the top part. Because it can do a better job of explaining what a book is about than I can, as we know on my channel. When war orphan Rin aced the Keiju, the empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to learn at the academies, I can't say that word, she surprised everyone, test officials, the guardians who wanted to marry her off and further their criminal enterprise, and even herself. And then there's like a war that happens. So it's like really militaristic, and I'm very excited to get to it. Like, unbelievably excited to get to it. Number three on my list is one that has been, again, raved about all over the bookish internet sphere, and I want to know what it's about. And I know that the third book in this series is being released in September, so I should probably get on this, and it is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This book, from what I know, is about an assassin who goes to like assassin school, and then there's a cat in it named Mr. Kindly who like can take her fear or something. That's literally all I know about it. And I know that there are footnotes and that some people hate footnotes, but I'm okay with footnotes. I deal with footnotes in a lot of my classic literature, so like I'm okay with it. It does slow down your read, but that's okay. Makes for a different experience. So I'm very excited to get to this one. There's a huge love for J. Kristoff and this book series, so I'm excited to jump on this bandwagon, even though it's a little late. The next two books actually go together because they're part of the same series, and I'm actually surprised that it took me this long to get to the rest of this series, because I ended up reading the two first books in this series like early on in, I believe, July and August, sometime around there. It was in July because I read them for the Medievalathon, but I immediately went out and got 3 and 4 in this series, and then I just never picked them up, which is really on brand for me, to be honest. But like, I want to pick these up so bad because they're so atmospheric, and I think they're going to be perfect for September-y time. And that is Maggie Stiefvater's The Raven Boys. So that is Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and the Raven King. So number 4, 3, and number 4. Why do I keep thinking there are like 5 books in the series? There are only 4. But I, excuse me, I really want to get to these. And I know that Lala here on Instagram, on BookTube, Books and Lala from BC, up in Canada. She's amazing. She's like just incredible. She's hosting a readathon for these books throughout September, so I'm gonna join in for Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and the Raven King for that readathon, I do believe. And I'm very excited about it. Like, so excited to keep this series going and to find out this, just what happens to Gamzee and, is it Gansey or Gamzee? I can't remember because I listened to them on audiobook and I can't remember if it's an M or an N in his name, but I adore him so much. Yes, I'm so excited to get back into this world. So the next book that I have on my radar is a little bit unconventional for me. I'm not usually a thriller person or a horror reader, or like I don't really particularly like super scary books or thriller books and stuff like that, but I ended up going to the thrift store here where I am, and I found this one, and I've seen it around on the internet. I can't remember what anyone has said about it, but I know that people have read it, and the back of the book, or not the back, but the little blurb inside sounds really kind of up my alley, which is very odd. I'm very intrigued by it anyways, and that is Bellevue Square by Michael Redhill. This, from what I gather, is about a girl who runs a bookshop, and she finds out that a lot of people keep seeing her doppelganger everywhere, and just the idea of the doppelganger is so interesting to me, because when I was in university, one of my courses, we had to read an Edgar Allan Poe story, William Wilson, and that's about the doppelganger, and I just find it so creepy, the idea of having someone out there that looks like you that isn't actually related to you, and just like what can happen with that. I know a lot of those stories aren't like malicious and whatever, and I know William Wilson is a little bit more psychological than like actually seeing your doppelganger out there, but this one, her doppelganger starts like, I don't know, doing something, and she suspects her doppelganger, and she becomes obsessed with finding this other girl who looks like her. So I'm intrigued, and it's quite thin, and I think it'd be perfect for the fall time. So I'm excited to get to this one. The next book I have on my radar is actually a newer release that I ended up picking up at the bookstore just on a whim, because I do that a lot. I just go on bookstore whims, and I'm really intrigued by it. I know, again, like every other book on this list, I know nothing about it, and it is called The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. So this one, I don't know what it follows, to be honest with you. A future chieftain, a fugitive prince, a too cunning bodyguard, and one grumpy grey tabby. So I think it's like 3 people and a cat who have to do something. It's kind of got the vibes of like the Six of Crows, like Band of People. I've never actually read Six of Crows, so that should be on my radar too, but like it's got like the Band of People type vibe to it, which I really enjoy. So I'm excited to get to this, and I've heard wonderful things about it from the people who got ARCs at like BookCon and that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited about this one. So the next 2 books, and the last 2 books on my list actually, are books that I've had on my radar for a long time, and I really want to get to them, but I just have never found the right time, except this one. Finally, I am doing a readathon, or buddy read, with Linda from Wandering Books. And I'm so excited to get to this one. It is the second book in the Strange the Dreamer duology, and I adored Strange the Dreamer so much. I just can't get enough of this book. So I'm so excited to get to this one. Like literally ridiculously excited to see how this ends and where it can go. And I just want to see Laszlo again, and I want to see Sarai, and I want to know what happens. And I'm so excited. So excited. And then the very last one is a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time. And again, it's in the spooky vein, which is like not my usual vibe, but because this is a fantasy spooky vein, I'm okay with that. And I want to actually write a book that I think is going to be similar to this, but I'm not sure because I haven't actually read it, and it is The Diviners by Libba Bray. So it's like set in, like, I believe 1920s New York, and it's about this girl who goes to New York and suddenly all this stuff starts happening, and I know that she's got like powers, and it's about like demons and scary things and murder, and I'm very excited to get to this. But September or October is my time to shine with this baby. And it's, oh, like, just look at that. Just the inside of this book makes me want to read it. Like, or the outside of this book makes me want to read it. Of course the inside makes me want to read it. It's the inside of the book, but I adore this cover, and I'm kind of salty that the rest of the series doesn't have these kind of covers because they changed the covers after the second one, and it's fine. It's fine. Anyways. The last book on my list that I want to read in the fall. Anyways, guys, whoa. Anyways, guys, that's it from me. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know down below if there are any books that you are really excited to read in this fall, or if there are any books on my list that you have read that you really recommend. Let me know, because I would love to chat with you down in the comments below. And I am so excited to get to these books this fall. It's ridiculous. I have them on my like TBR shelf in my room, and I keep staring at them all the time, and I'm like, I want to read you. I want to read you. But that's besides the point. Make sure to subscribe and like this video because it really helps me out, and hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. Every time I upload usually twice a week with a reading vlog and then a regular video. Sometimes I sneak in extra videos here and there if I randomly film them. I also do writing videos, so like my most recent writing video is a random writing vlog where I ended up finishing my first draft of my novel, which is so exciting to me. But yeah, join the Jen's Bookshelf family. Join us. Anyways, guys, make sure to stay kind and keep on reading. Bye!